Howdy guys, and welcome back to more Kira Kira. In the last episode, our buddy Murakami gave us a quick, brief lesson on the history of punk rock and roll and all that jazz. But not jazz, rock and roll. So let's continue on, shall we? The sun's already going down and the orange light shining into the room. We step into a typical after-school scene. I never took music as my elective, so this is the first time I've been to the music room since I entered school. There are more instruments than I thought in the prep room. I'm surprised to see so much decent equipment. It makes me realize how luxurious our school is. Ferrari and the others go straight to the instruments while I look at the shelves. Wow, a tambourine! Shino-senpai, here's some triangles. Senpai, the maracas are here. Wow. Ferrari and the second graders start to make noise with the instruments while we decide to think of the format of the band. If there's only four, then the vocal, a guitarist, a bass, and the drums would be the standard setup. If it was a game, they're like a hero, a soldier, a priest, and the wizard. Murakami puts a piece of paper on the desk and writes VO, G, B, D, R with his pencil. It must be the initials for each part. If there are only a few members, then we should keep the orthodox style, then. This would be it. What do you think? I don't like the idea of being orthodox. Do you have something in particular in mind? Actually, I would put a fighter instead of a soldier. You're talking about that, huh? Because then you can save on weapons. What are you talking about? Video games. Never mind that. But it's important to be particular. May I? Kashiwara speaks humbly. I played the piano before. Isn't there a piano part in bands? You could use the keyboard. In that case, then the vocalist needs to play the guitar. But the only thing is that would be a lot of load for the vocalist. Yeah, to play the guitar and sing. That's a lot. I always envy people who could do that. You mean I can trust the recovery magic of the hero and change the priest's job to something else? Enough on that subject. Genie gets angry a little. I see, then I'll give up on that idea. Kashiwara understands. Then now we have the general idea. Let's decide on the instruments. We're here already, so we might as well. I want to play saxophone. I love saxophone. There's no saxophone part in this band, is there? Following Genie's suggestion, we pull instruments from the prep room. I don't know how to set the drums, but I guess this should do. Murakami's mumbling to himself, but there's nobody here to help him with that. Finally, we're able to set up all the instruments. The metallic parts are shining against the east sun. You really think we can play these? With all the instruments in front of us, all of a sudden I feel worried. The instruments have many little parts that I don't know, and they look more complicated than I first thought. I'm getting the feeling this will be hard. Hey, does anyone have something particular you want to play? I want this one! Ferrari points to the drums and hits the center drum with her hand and smiles. Is there anybody else who wants to do drums? Nobody raises hands. Alright, then you can play the drums, Ferrari. Yippee! Ferrari is happy, but we can decide this easily. Can we decide this easily? I wouldn't know how else to do this. Next, Kashi, is there something you want to play? I really don't care what I play. Kashiwara answers politely as usual. You've played the piano, right? Also, aren't you taking violin lessons as well? Yes. Then probably the string instrument, huh? Which one would you like, the guitar or the bass? I don't mind either one. Then I'll ask you first, Shikanosuke. Let's see, I want to... The guitar, the bass, and the vocal are left. Vocal means I have to sing, and that gets the most exposure. I know that, at least. I'm not that good at instruments, but my singing can kill people. I have to avoid that situation. So I have to choose either the guitar or the bass. So I want to pick the easier one, but they are too similar to me. Actually, I can't even really tell them apart. I can't even tell them apart. Which is which? That's the bass. Murakami answers immediately. How do you know that? The bass has 4 strings and the guitar has 6 strings, but I've heard there are some bass that have 6 strings. In that case, I can't tell them apart either. I see, but if they have the same number of strings, what's the difference? I'm sure they sound different. I'm sure they do, but which one should a beginner choose? Probably the bass. How would I know? Don't you think less strings means less work? That's a good point. It's a typical mistake beginners make. In general, the bass is the more complicated instrument, but I don't know that yet. Really? Interesting. Yeah, so it does seem like people might choose the bass because, hey, 4 is easier to learn than 6, right? But I guess it is more complicated. That's interesting. We're learning here, guys. We're learning. That misunderstanding decides my fate as a band member. Okay, then I'll take the bass. Looks like it requires the least exposure. Can you do the guitar, Kashiwara? Yes, of course. I pick up the bass and hold it in position. It's heavier than I thought. Then the leftover part is what, the vocal? Jeannie's the last one to pick apart. She looks at the paper with the names on it. Ah, that's perfect. I'll kill you. She glares at me. There's an explanation for this. Jeannie can usually do anything except sing. So what, we got all these band members and not one person can sing halfway decently? I'm afraid our band is going to fall apart at the seams. She isn't that horrible, but she has a hard time carrying a tune. So every time she has to sing in front of people, she's very hesitant about it. But maybe this is the perfect opportunity to overcome your weakness. Jeannie thinks for a while. Karari-chan. She calls Karari with a sweet voice. What? Do you want to be vocalist instead of the drummer? Why? I want to hit the drums. Karari holds on to the big drum. My drum! Jeannie smiles at her. Oh, come on. She's using that sweet voice and cute look to try to manipulate her into doing the vocals because she doesn't want to sing. I'll tell you something. The vocalist gets the most exposure and will be the most popular. Besides, you don't need to spend any money on instruments. What? Really? Free? Karari's eyes sparkle. Jeannie grins. What a meaningful smile. I mean it, that's just the vocalist. Even when we move around, you don't have to carry anything. Remember, you always forget things all the time, don't you? I thought it'd be perfect for you, but if you insist on drums... She's so good, reverse psychology. I'll do it, If it's free, then I'll be the vocalist. Oh, come on, that's just taking advantage of her financial state. That's not even fair. Then Karari's vocalist and I'll be the drummer. She writes down on the paper. Yippee, I'm the vocalist. I'm so happy. Karari's happy as can be, decidedly though she was. Deceived though she was. Sorry, not decidedly. Something's wrong with this picture. You fought over the drums and imposed the vocal part on each other. Murakami can't comprehend. What's wrong? We're a literature club after all. We are different from normal people who want to form a band. So the drums are literary instruments? Murakami's mumbling to himself. While we're playing with our own instruments, we notice people coming in. What are you doing? 4 male students come into the room. They have guitar cases on their backs and they look like they're in a band. Ah, there's Kashiwara. How are you feeling today? I'm a fan of yours. One of the guys comes close to Kashiwara. She steps backwards to hide behind Chine. That's gold. They laugh and introduce themselves as the Pop Music Club members. Oh, so they don't play around here. Would you? We're gonna start practice now. We're not playing around. We have permission to use this room from the teacher. Who the heck are you? I'm Isarugi. I'm the head of the second literature club. This school has a second literature club? I never heard of it. But why are the second literature club members in the music room interrupting the pop music club's practice? They're talking amongst themselves, but it's really unpleasant. I'm not interrupting you. We were here for a reason. Hey, it's you, Shino. What are you doing here? Don't you have to go home for your family? Do you know her? No, we're in the same class last year. She's a hard-working girl. Don't you have to go to work today? Then they laugh among themselves. It's a day off. Ferrari stares at him. Our club is doing a band at the Culture Festival. Oh, I know. Do you think you can teach us? Huh? He overreacts. You don't think you can play rock music, do you? You should dream when you're asleep. Sorry, Kashiwara. I didn't mean to sound rude, but we're serious musicians, so we take rock music seriously. Listen to yourself. No, I really mean it. They tease each other and laugh. I don't want to judge them since this is the first time we've met, but I know for sure that they're the type of people that make me sick. What's wrong? I'm about to say something. Murakami comes back from the prep room. Murakami? When they see Murakami, it's obvious. They hesitate a little. Murakami is tall and big, plus he's strong. There have been plenty of heroic episodes since he was in the first grade. So many of the male students are fearful of him. Murakami pities himself because he doesn't make friends easily. But in truth, the reason isn't as sensitive as he thinks. It's simply that people are afraid of him. We have permission and we have the reason to use the instruments. Anything wrong? Murakami says rather casually, but all four guys become silent. Well, I guess I can understand what they're saying. If they have it to practice, then there's nothing we can do. Jeannie speaks as she sighs. Okay, we'll go. Jeannie says so, and the other guys loosen up a little. Oh, how understanding. I like girls like that. He forces a smile with cold sweat on his forehead. Okay, we'll put the things away just a minute. So we start to put the things away. You really think you can do a band? One of the guys speaks to us while paying attention to Murakami. I answer yes. Then, why don't we have a match? Then he grins. A match? Jeannie asks. Yeah, a match. We play at the Culture Festival every year, so we don't want to just play. All of the students vote at the Culture Festival to rank, right? Let's have a match to see who gets more votes. I don't know. What, you aren't confident enough? I can understand. Well, it's just girls, it's like a child's play, huh? The guys go on and on. Fine, that sounds good. We'll do it. You're not even in the band, man. Can't decide for us. What, you won't be on stage, right? What's the point of the match anyway? We just wanted to do something special for our last year. When you're young, you can learn a lot from your rivals. If you go through more battles, you'll make more memories. What is he talking about? But... okay, we'll do it. Jeannie interrupts me. She doesn't show it, but she seems to be very irritated. I don't know, she looks irritated to me, and I'm looking at a static picture. I think more than anything, she can't stand their attitude towards Kurari. Okay, then here are some conditions. Conditions? He laughs in a strange way in response to Jeannie. Sure, how about this? If we win, we'll get your day off. We'll go on the dates. Well, what if we win? We'll do whatever. You decide when you win. Pretty confident, aren't you? Of course we are. But that wouldn't be fair. There's nothing for us to gain. We don't have anything we want you to do, so we reject. You shut up. We're asking the girls. Hey. What? He answers rather hesitantly. Just dawned on me. If we lose, do I have to go on a date with you guys too? The guy answers with a complicated expression. You and Majima don't have to come. I'm disappointed. Did I hear him right? I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Then the guy goes on. So, what do you think? Are you gonna do it or not? You're not gonna run after what you said, are you? These guys are such jerks. We'll do it. She's staring at the guys with a serious look. I'm getting a headache. Why do they get excited so easily? Yo, Kashiwara, you understand things quickly, or maybe you want to go on a date with us, huh? He grins. Now we have something to look forward to. You, Isaguri, right? You're my type. I'll think of a good date plan. I'm not interested in Shino, though. Well, maybe I'll come up with something interesting. Are you being picked on? As soon as we get out of the hallway, I ask about it. See, I never understood why people do that. Like in anime, especially, I know it's a big trope where people are like, oh, if I do this and I win, you have to go on a date with me. Like, if they don't want to do it organically, and it's all forced, and it seems like nothing would ever stem from it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you go on a date, but if you hate each other, then, or at least, you know, the girl hates the guy or whatever, then it's gonna be really awkward and stupid, and nothing's ever gonna come out of it, you know. And I don't know, whatever. I just don't get it. Well, were you Karari-chan? I don't think I was picked on, but they were teasing me. Karari mumbles timidly. You tell me anything, and I'll help you anytime. Murakami bends down to Karari's eye level. No, that's not it. Besides, I'm weird, so they can't help it. But Shino. Murakami asks worriedly, but Karari doesn't seem to want to talk about it anymore. What disgusting people. They make me sick. Shini talks angrily. I feel the same way. We might have been too quick to accept the challenge. We shouldn't have promised we could have thought of different ways. My words get interrupted. It'll be okay. She goes on while looking at Karari's face. We won't lose. I like them. Kashiwara is scaring me. Konosuke, you can't be sneaky this time. We have to win fair and square. Why is Chini saying that? What do you mean, sneaky? I'm just being logical. Anyway, we have to win, that's all. Chini says. Alright, we'll do it. She raises her fist to the air. I also raised my fist to the air, but couldn't see that. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm going to cut the episode here. I've got another episode planned today, so I unfortunately got to cut this one a little bit shorter than I would like. So I will see you all in part number 6. So take it easy, guys.